and orange. Mark Scott of England goes in this one. 14th in Tokyo, 10,000 last year. 14th in Eugene at 5,000. He's a better athlete than that. I think he comes into this probably with a little bit of fire in his belly, Mark Scott, for England. There were no UK entrants in the 5,000 on the Gold Coast back in 2018. There is Jacob Krop. Watch him, the world #2 this year from Kenya. He'll be a fierce opponent here. John Gay, well, he ran in the steeplechase this morning. Do not adjust your sets. He was 4th in the steeplechase exactly 8 hours ago. Gisemo goes in this one, and that fought Tanzania, but his best only 13.56. The Isle of Man athlete Malaki, 13.47, his best. Rama Kogwana of Lesotho hasn't broken 14 minutes. There's Jacob Kiplimo, world record holder for the half marathon. He won the 10,000 metres here. Hasn't run a 5,000 this year. This is his debut over 12.5 laps for this year. Solomon Ziosi, 24th in the Commonwealth Games back in 2014. Paulus of Namibia, Daniel Paulus. He's a 13.54 performer. There's Pat Diva, NCAA champion last year over 10,000 metres. 27.23 back in March, but hasn't really progressed since then. George Beamish of New Zealand, 10th in the world indoors over 3,000. Could be useful if it's a slowish race. Yeshnil Karan of Fiji, 15.26, his lifetime best. William Amponsa of Ghana, no times for him at all. And there is Mark Scott. Watch him. He's a fierce racer, took a wonderful bronze medal at the world indoors over 3,000 back in March in Belgrade. Matt Ramsden. He's a very quick 1,500 metre runner, a 3:51 mile of the Australian. He could be a danger. The Tanzanian, Lazaro, has never broken 14 minutes. Cornelius Kemboi of Kenya, well, he's never run for Kenya before. Selected because he was 3rd in the Kenyan trials. He's earned his place. Sablé, well, he took a fantastic silver medal for India this morning and a national record in that steeplechase. He's got to be on tired legs. Rayner for Australia goes there. He's strong, 27.15, has the national record for the Aussies. And Nimubona of Rwanda is there as well. He's a 13.15 performer. And Nicholas Kipkorea Kimeli, the world #1 on the inside. He won in Rome earlier on this summer in the Diamond League in 12.46, making him one of the quickest men in history. 9th in the Commonwealth Games 4 years ago. So, 20 starters then, 12.5 laps of... Well, how will this one pan out? 4 years ago, and by the way, not a single finalist from that Gold Coast 5,000 4 years back is in this race. Not a single one. Joshua Cheptegei, world record holder at 5,000 and 10,000 since 2018, isn't here. But in 2018, the 3,000 was reached in a pedestrian 8:47. They almost literally jogged the first 3,000 metres. Then the 4th kilometre things picked up. That was at 2:38, and the 5th kilometre was lightning fast at 2:25. There'll be 1 or 2 men here. I think Rob Walker will be looking for perhaps a similar sort of pattern in this race. I know that Matt Ramsden, a 3:34 1,500 guy, would be delighted if the first half of this was on the slow side.
He certainly would, Tim. He is a big, powerful performer. He's just on the right, a picture now in the middle. I can't believe Sablé has taken his place in the starting lineup after that epic silver medal in the steeplechase. Talking about the Indian just running in the middle of the group, now just on the left of your picture. The other interesting dynamic here, Tim, I know you do a lot of commentary on the Diamond League circuit. When Kimeli and Krop ran that Rome Diamond League, it was absolutely sensational. They tore chunks out of each other and produced the 2 fastest times in the world this year. And then you pull into the mix Jacob Kiplimo, trying to become only the 4th man to do the double. Camera focusing on the back of the pack. Kiplimo's in the middle. I think it would suit Kiplimo if it was slow, because he might still be feeling tired after the 10,000 metres.
Well, Krop and Kimeli at the front, and I think there's an arrangement here. That was a 63 lap. It's quick.
Weir, this is her last attempt. She's got the bronze medal, the Canadian. And she's going to end with the bronze medal. Gillian Weir in the 3rd round through 67.35. A smile from a support team. But Canada win bronze with Gillian Weir, which means Julia Ratcliffe of New Zealand has the silver medal and has one more throw to try and stop Cameron Rogers of Canada winning the title. But Rogers, 74.08. Ratcliffe will have to throw a lifetime best to stop the Canadian winning. One more throw. Well, it lands on the bronze medal winning line of Gillian Weir. She's going to pick up a silver medal, Julia Ratcliffe of New Zealand, which means Cameron Rogers of Canada is your champion. And she looks pretty pleased with that. High fives all round between the gold medal winner. Cameron Rogers will come up for one final throw. And Julia Ratcliffe with that throw of 69.63. She finishes with 66.93. Yeah, quite rightly, very, very proud. So bronze, silver and gold is sorted. A hug between the silver and the bronze medalist, Ratcliffe and Weir. And here's your champion, Cameron Rogers. Second at the World Championships recently in Oregon. The world number 4 this year was 77.67. She has the gold medal. Can she increase her games record of 74.68? that she set in qualifying? She's had a couple of really big throws here, Rogers. The gold medal's hers. Can she go further? Well, it's way over the 70-metre line again. It's going to be close, you know. She gets the white flag. She's celebrating for the gold medal. That's understandable. One of the big favourites here at the Commonwealth Games. Everyone's awaiting the distance, though. Has she set a new games record? Has she gone further than 74.68? Not quite, I don't think. It's coming through. 73.89. No new games record, but the gold goes to Cameron Rogers of Canada. A sneaky hop over the... oh, that's nice. A hop over the advertising boards. Hugs all round. It was expected, but you've still got to come and deliver. 74.08. Canada picks up the gold. And Cameron Rogers with a big smile, and deservedly so.
Well, Kenya in 1 and 2. It slowed through this second kilometre. They went through 1K in 2:39 and were on 13:15 tempo for the opening stages, but they have slowed pretty dramatically. Nimubona is up there in third place. The two Kenyans taking it out have been playing a strange game, because the pace early on from Krop and Kimeli was pretty healthy, Rob Walker, and then they've suddenly decided to ease right back in the throttle. They're bunching badly, and that's not comfortable for the guys further back in the pack. There's a little bit of nudging and shoving going on.
Yes, a strange decision from them, having initially thought that they would go quite hard. Do you know the other Australian we haven't spoken about a lot, Tim? Jack Rayner. The camera's focusing in on Ramsden. He's an excellent 1500-metre runner for Australia. But, you know, just up on the shoulder of the leaders is Jack Rayner, national champion over the half marathon. And do you know what? He smashed his 5,000 PB in Oslo, talking about the Australian, the mustachioed Australian, just tucked in behind the two Kenyans in fourth place. 13:06 in Oslo. So maybe if it's slow early on and then gets quick again, maybe he could be the Australian to feature. He looks pretty comfortable in fifth at the moment.
Well, they're lapping athletes already. That's how slow it is. 5:23 at 2,000, at 2:44 that second kilometre after 2:39. So much was promised, but it is pretty bizarre. Nimubona, a 13:15 athlete, pretty useful. The third Kenyan beginning to move up to the fore, and Kiplimo just shadowing that lead group. He's back in about 7th or 8th place at the moment. The Namibian, or Tanzanian rather, Joshua there, back in about 8th. Mark Scott tucked in on the inside, staying in contact with everything up front. And Pat Deaver as well is there for England, NCAA champion last year, ran a really quick 10,000 back in March in California, but hasn't really shown anything like that sort of form since. A couple of 13:20 runs in May and June in the USA, but a little disappointing really, as the season was supposed to reach its climax. There were so many fast races in the USA in March and April and May in the Californian sunshine, and many athletes can't replicate that when it really matters in the meat of the summer. The pace just beginning to pick up, I sense a little bit. Kenya now in 1, 2, 3 And I wonder if from here onwards, the middle of the race more or less, they're going to start turning the screw.
So many great talking points here, Tim. There's only been one clean sweep in the 5,000 metres. You were involved in it in 1986. Steve Ovett, Jack Buckner, and you got the bronze, and they are out front. But they may not have this all their own way, you know, because Jacob Kiplimo in 5th place will be full of confidence after that magnificent victory in the 10,000 metres. And I'm keeping half an eye on Mark Scott, who's tucked in on the curb, because although he's done great stuff over the half marathon, the Englishman took a world indoor bronze over the 3,000 metres. But there is a little bit of a breakaway group now, with the New Zealander trying to stay on the back of that with John Gay. No wonder Gay's tired. He's been in the 3,000 steeplechase. But Kenya 1, 2 and 3, a little bit quicker, 2:38, but they're still sort of dawdling, Tim.
Well, they are. That was a 2:39 first kilometre, a 2:44 second kilometre, 2:38 quicker that third kilometre. So it is, again, a little bit like Mary Moraa in the women's 800, a seesawing type of race. Kiplimo looks very comfortable, doesn't he, Jacob Kiplimo, who was probably a little bit disappointed with his bronze medal in the 10,000 at the World Championships. He had a bronze medal in Tokyo last year in the 10,000. He has so much strength, so much speed. He's now moving up right in behind that Kenyan trio, because I'm sure he knows that pretty soon somebody will go hard. If they don't, then it becomes a glorified middle distance race, because the time at 3,000 metres, well, it was 8:01, and for many of these fellas, that's very, very slow indeed. Good to see Pat Diva right up there. Mark Scott, I hope, is just cruising at the moment. He's a great runner, Mark Scott, best of 13:05 from last year, and he's a 3:35 1500 runner too. He's got really significant speed. But at the moment, everybody dancing to the Kenyans' tune, and I'm not quite sure why.
Well, maybe the man to challenge that is Jacob Kiplimo. He's on the shoulder of Nimubona, and Nimubona of Rwanda, and 6th in the African champs over the 10,000 metres. And Kiplimo just towards the back of that picture, the Ugandan. There'll be so much excitement about his aspirations here, but he's taking on 3 really fast Kenyans, 2 of whom are the quickest in the world this year. Matt Ramsden beginning to be dropped off the back, and so too Mark Scott. It's Pat Diva of England now the highest placed of the 2 home athletes, but this is beginning to look a little bit metronomic here, and Kiplimo is sensing the danger. Maybe he's the only man who can stop the Kenyan clean sweep. He needs to pay close attention here, Tim, because I wonder if we're going to see a sudden burst of acceleration as we now edge towards the finish.
Well, Kimeli leads, Krop in second, the third Kenyan Kemboi back in 3rd place, and now Kiplimo has moved into 3rd place. He's beginning to realise that the surge is on with 10.5 minutes on the clock. We're looking for that 4-kilometre split, and it will be at the end of this straight. And Kimeli winding this up. Clearly the Kenyans have discussed this. I don't think this is independent behaviour. They're trying to figure out a way to unlock the dominance of Kiplimo. This is 4K. There it is, 2:39. So not a super quick kilometre, but not a slow one either. And that means that the questions are being asked now over this final 2.5 laps, because for these fellas, this is not quick. And they're moving away now, and Scott is going backwards in 8th place for England. I expected him to go better than that, because really they've only been moving at around 13:20 pace, or marginally inside that. They come to 2 laps to go now, and good to see Pat Diva easing away there in what, 4th, 5th place. But Kimeli from Krop, from Kiplimo, who looks very relaxed in 3rd place.
Yes, the Ugandan is tracking the 2 fastest men in the world this year. Remember, if you missed it, they were side by side, Kimeli and Krop, when they ran 12:46 in Rome. It won't be anywhere near that fast, but all 3 of these men are well within their comfort zone. Can Jacob Kiplimo find the raw acceleration needed? He's arguably better at the 10,000 and better at the half marathon, but the Ugandan in 3rd looks very, very comfortable. Remember, he's bidding to become only the 4th man in Commonwealth history to do the 5 and 10 double at the same games.
Kimeli leads, 500 metres to run. The 10,000 metre champion, he's had plenty of time to recover. He should be fresh here. Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda in 3rd place as they come to the bell. Will they light up the track here? 12:13, maybe 12:14 at the bell. A 62 penultimate lap. Not particularly quick. That's not really going to test fellas of this caliber. Kimeli and Krop may be playing into the hands of Kiplimo here, or they are both surely pretty fresh if they're running some 30 seconds or so inside the tempo of their run in Rome. There's a wall of Kenyans now, a small wall of Kenyans in front of Kiplimo, but I think he's going to bide his time. He's going to leave it until the home straight. Surely he won't expect to come wide. He's going with Krop now round the outside. Look at that, hanging onto his coattails, stride for stride. The Kenyan's kicking hard. He's the world record over the half marathon. Does he have the speed to go with these two? Kimeli and Krop flailing arms now, and here comes Khalid Kiplimo like a machine, like a metronome, easing past them. But is he going to get there at the line? He is. It's the double for Uganda again. Kiplimo makes it a win at the 10,000 and a win in the 5,000, and the Kenyans were outthought and outraced. Mark Scott has rallied, comes home for a fabulous fourth place, some way back. But my word, what a race that was up front. Rayner coming home as well, up in the top 8. Kiplimo's time 13:08 after a strange race. The time at 3,000, remember, 8:01. That was outside 13:20 tempo. A super fast last lap there, bringing Kiplimo victory by the tiniest of margins. The Kenyans did everything they possibly could, as we see some of the back markers coming through. He won by 11 100ths of a second. Kimeli taking the silver, Krop the bronze, and he was about 2 meters down. And Mark Scott 13:19, a season's best for him. He managed to ring out a really solid run, Mark Scott, from that one, when with about a mile to go, I thought he was down and out.
Jacob Kiplimo is the toast of Uganda tonight, tomorrow, and for the rest of this season. He's beaten the 2 quickest men in the world this year, who mounted a magnificent attempt to deny him the double. Full credit to Kimeli and Krop with the silver and the bronze. But despite the fact that it's not necessarily Jacob Kiplimo's best distance, he had enough down the home straight. He has stepped out of the shadow of his fabulous teammate Joshua Cheptegei and follows in his footsteps.